Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, Boxing Boxing. Now, man, crazy news. Apparently, Gervante Davis and Leo Santa Cruz were going to be fighting before this pandemic is over. Everything is basically finalized, and then this pandemic hit, and then it delayed the intentions of them fighting. Right now, this is from Stephen Espinoza. Right, I'm gonna get into a quote for you guys. Right, he says we were very close to finalizing a deal before the coronavirus. Espinoza said, "It's an interesting one because the fight would do a very good gate regardless where it is. The fight could not fit naturally in Las Vegas if LA is not ready. Certainly Vegas or Texas would make reasonable choices. I do think that one of the first few fights we have when we're back in business. A lot of people were surprised at the matchup. Leo Santa Cruz absolutely adamant that he wants to fight. It's the only fight he wants. He sees something in Davis that guarantees him success. That Tank is a physical challenge for anyone, but Leo is undaunted and he's persistent." Right? But it's basically later. I'm not gonna read the whole article, but basically talks about how they can have this fight anywhere. They're thinking about Vegas, LA or Vegas, or LA, Vegas, or Texas. There you go. And either one of those places will be big. In my opinion, I probably think that LA is probably better for Leo Santa Cruz. Maybe Texas might be a bit better for Gervante Davis, and like Vegas is more like a neutral location, right? So that being said, Leo Santa Cruz talked about in his article how he preferred to fight at 130, but this fight could possibly take place at 135. But we'll see how this whole thing pops off, man. The weight will definitely play a huge role in this fight on who has the advantage. If it's at 130, Leo Santa Cruz will have a clear advantage in it. I mean, the first time Gervante Davis went up in weight, the guy had weight problems. I think he was stripped of his title the first time. Yeah, he was stripped of his title one of the times, and he went up in weight, and he didn't make the weight, right? Crazy stuff. But Gervante Davis, man, he's been on fire lately. He's been running through his opposition. But the first time he fought a superstar, someone we knew that he was going to struggle against, or people actually didn't think he was going to struggle against him, right? That was Gamboa. People thought he was going to walk through, they thought it was a trade pick, and Gamboa, fought the whole 12 rounds, or until he got stopped in the 12th round. So, but that being said, he tore his Achilles, I believe, and he really couldn't fire off one of his feet. And he fought the whole fight. And yeah, man, that was a pretty good fight, man. Davis was playing around, but he was trying to fight, and he looked tired, So weight definitely plays a huge role in this fight, man. I'll be really excited to see how Gervante Davis plays, how he fights against a come forward fighter who's super aggressive, like Leo Santa Cruz. If Santa Cruz wants to win this fight, he has to bring his style to the table, which is hyper aggressive, throwing punches at all times to wear down Davis. Right? Gamboa did it. I think Leo Santa Cruz, that's more naturally his style. So, man, this fight's gonna be a really big fight, man. I'm really excited to see it. They said this is gonna be one of the first fights post-pandemic, so that's gonna be a really big deal, because if you're gonna come back, you can't come back, with a whimper. You gotta come back with a bang. And this is definitely one of the biggest fights to make people really want to come back out again. Trash talk's gonna be crazy. Unfortunately, Leo Santa Cruz took some L's before he got to, Gervante Davis. But, better late than never, better late than never. A lot of times these fighters, they don't want to take risks until they take an L, then they got nothing to lose. Because once you take an L in boxing, man, taking an L really doesn't do anything to you. A lot of people can say your career's over and everything. Those are just haters, man. Leo Santa Cruz has a lot of years to go, man. A lot of the fighters down there who were superstars at one point, and they're still stars, but most of them took L's, right? Leo Santa Cruz took an L, right? Gary Russell Jr. took an L, right? Carl Franklin took an L, and I can go on and on about all those guys who used to be all undefeated until they start fighting each other. And if they fight each other more than three times, there was no fighter over there who won all three of those fights. All those fighters at least lost one of the three. It's crazy stuff, man. So I think these fighters not only need to fight each other, but if it was a close fight, rematch, because you never know what might happen. So, man, this is a really big deal, man. I hope that if this is a close fight, they run it back, because some people, win one time, they think that's it. Like, nah, man, because history says if you match these people up more than once, there's a good chance the other guy might win, especially if they're just elite level fighters. You know, a lot of people think that you took an L and you're done. Nah, that's not how boxing works. People just, you know, infantilized by the whole Floyd Mayweather undefeated thing. So, man, I'm really excited to see this fight. This fight's gonna be one of the biggest fights of the year because we don't know how many fights we can stage this year in boxing. In my opinion, since this coronavirus thing hit, the big events, man, they're gonna really have to bring out the guns. They can't be bringing all these cherries. No one's gonna want to come travel to see a bum. You know, when this pandemic hits, people really tighten their money, so they're gonna want to get bang for their buck. So they're gonna only want to see the best fight the best at this point. So that's gonna be really good for boxing. This is a big fight, in my opinion. It's about one of the biggest fights you can make in that division, right? So in the featherweight featherweight division. So let me know how you guys feel about it, though. They basically said this fight's finalized. I'll link the article in the description to read yourself. Let me know how you guys feel about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. Jew Empire.